Napoleon's family was of Italian origin. His paternal ancestors, the Buonapartes, descended from a minor Tuscan noble family that emigrated to Corsica in the 16th century, and his maternal ancestors, the Ramolinos, descended from a minor Genoese noble family. His parents Carlo Maria di Buonaparte and Maria Letizia Ramolino maintained an ancestral home called Casa Buonaparte in Ajaccio. Napoleon was born there on 15 August 1769. He was the family's fourth child and third son. He had an elder brother, Joseph, and younger siblings Lucien, Eliza, Louis, Pauline, Caroline, and Jerome. Napoleon was baptized as a Catholic under the name Napoleon. In his youth, his name was also spelled as Nabulione, Nabulio, Napoleon, and Napoleon. Napoleon was born 1 year after the Republic of Genoa ceded Corsica to France. The state sold sovereign rights a year before his birth, and the island was conquered by France. During the year of his birth, it was formally incorporated as a province in 1770. After 500 years under Genoese rule and 14 years of independence, Napoleon's parents joined the Corsican resistance and fought against the French to maintain independence. Even when Maria was pregnant with him, his father Carlo was an attorney who had supported and actively collaborated with patriot Pasquale Paoli during the Corsican War of Independence against France. After the Corsican defeat at Ponte Novo in 1769 and Paoli's exile in Britain, Carlo began working for the new French government, and in 1777 was named representative of the island to the court of Louis XVI. The dominant influence of Napoleon's childhood was his mother, whose firm discipline restrained a rambunctious child. Later in life, Napoleon said, "The future destiny of the child is always the work of the mother." His maternal grandmother had married into the Swiss Fesch family in her second marriage, and Napoleon's uncle, the Cardinal Joseph Fesch, fulfilled a role as protector of the Bonaparte family for some years. Napoleon's noble, moderately affluent background afforded him greater opportunities to study than were available to a typical Corsican of the time. When he turned 9 years old, he moved to the French mainland and enrolled at a religious school in Autumn in January 1779. In May, he transferred with a scholarship to a military academy at Brienne-le-Château. In his youth he was an outspoken Corsican nationalist and supported the state's independence from France. Like many Corsicans, Napoleon spoke and read Corsican as his mother tongue, and Italian as the official language of Corsica. He began learning French in school at around age 10. Although he became fluent in French, he spoke with a distinctive Corsican accent and never learned to spell in French. Consequently, Napoleon was routinely bullied by his peers for his accent, birthplace, short stature, mannerisms, and inability to speak French quickly. He became reserved and melancholy, applying himself to reading. An examiner observed that Napoleon has always been distinguished for his application in mathematics. He is fairly well acquainted with history and geography. This boy would make an excellent sailor. One story told of Napoleon at the school is that he led junior students to victory against senior students in a snowball fight, showing his leadership abilities. In early adulthood, Napoleon briefly intended to become a writer. He authored a history of Corsica and a romantic novella. On completion of his studies at Brienne in 1784, Napoleon was admitted to the École Militaire in Paris. He trained to become an artillery officer and, when his father's death reduced his income, was forced to complete the 2-year course in 1 year. He was the first Corsican to graduate from the École Militaire. He was examined by the famed scientist Pierre Simon Laplace.